Hello everyone.
Yeah, we do that. I didn't have it on.
Dylan, Corey,
I need a
and myself
redo.
went to Blue Grotto in Williston, Florida today.
Oh
This
man.
looks like it's
Poor
our
nail.
second dive because there's
Did you go
people in
talk
the
to
water this
Virgil
time.
there, Dylan?
It was unusually silted out, which is, you know, I thought was unusual for a cavern. You know, we're so used to these springs being crystal clear.
Is there a circle thing there? Is there a bottom
So you'll
to
see
that
the
circle
difference
thing?
here. We still had a great time, practiced our skills, and we did get to go down in the cave portion, which was a lot of fun. Virgil was off to the right earlier.
I got air.
And I think I didn't get him in the video here. But
coming in.
Corey's already in the water. I'm fixing to go in. And then I think Dylan was adding or subtracting a weight. He must have been subtracting. I think he was off to the shelf over there before he got in. It felt cool today. 5 mil suit and it still felt cool. I'm wearing a 100 cubic foot tank again with no weight. And it gives me more air than I ever would need. 80 cubic foot would probably be perfect.
Are we going to go down the right side? What are we doing? We'll go down. If it looks bad, we won't go. Okay.
What I'm saying there is from the first dive, because this is the second one, it was real silted out. The clarity wasn't real good. So we were making plans. If it wasn't real clear, we wouldn't go down to the cave portion. It did work out that it was a little bit better this time. But I've shown videos of Blue Grotto in the past where, if you remember, it was just perfectly beautiful clear. And it wasn't. All we're suspecting is that there was a couple divers that came out before we got there. And they must have silted it up. And it's a low flow spring, so it takes a while for it to clear. And believe it or not, this is probably half as silty as it was when we went the first time. So you can imagine why we were hesitant on going all the way down. A couple divers in already. Fish are saying hello. I think they're used to being fed. I think that's why they follow us. Corey's doing his great frog kicks, and I need to work on mine. Dylan might be a little tail heavy. I don't know if he prefers that way or what the deal is, but we had a great time. We didn't realize it. I don't know if, I think I got it in this video. Dylan had a leak on his low pressure hose that we didn't necessarily catch until towards the end of the second dive. We're headed down the line here. The cave entrance starts at 55 feet. And just following the, I call it the gold line. I don't know if it's called that, but that's what I call it. I hear some people call some of the main lines the gold line. So Dylan's there for us, waiting on us. And there's actually a statue right in front of Corey there. But it's just, it's a little hazy, so it's a vertical statue on that shelf, and it's hard to see it. If I put the light on it, you might see it a little better. I might put it on, yeah, real quick there. Okay, there's the end of the main line. This cave comes in from two different entrances, depending on which way you want to go. And I'm not quite sure if we're going in the left or right. I might know once we drop. Looks like Dylan's dropping in first, and Corey's hooking up the jump line. So we're getting that going. Oh, you'll see something here. It was a little interesting. Corey didn't realize it, but the jump line went around his first stage regulator. So I just went up there and took it off. You can see it if you look here. There it is. So I just came over there and took it off. Okay. It's kind of a shaft type, you know, it goes down pretty steep. Corey's looking for his second tie off. Maybe you would call it your first, because I don't know how you would call that. 67, I think that's set. So we started at 55, we're down to 67. You can see how it gets dark. I wonder if we can see his leak here. Now that I know it was leaking, we'll see if we can see Dylan's leak. I wonder if it didn't leak under pressure, because you know the deeper you go, the stronger the pressure. Because I didn't see it there. I'll try and keep an eye out and see if we see it. I'm trying to be real careful. The right side of the cave here, that black, is all silt. So you want to do your best not to kick it up. That's all black silt there on the right. And then the rocks go up on the left. And then I got, you know, kind of the roof right above me, which I'd rather be closer to the roof than kicking up the silt. Another one of those signs to say, you know, if you're not experienced, you shouldn't go past this point. I think we're getting down in the 94 foot. It's deceiving how quick you drop in here. This might be our turnaround point. We get to the sign and then we look, and you can actually look and see the blue way up there. So we're doing our turnaround. I saw some silt on the ground there, so I was looking to make sure I wasn't kicking anything up. You can see on the rocks there that the silt is just so touchy. Here we're checking for some, you know, fossils, artifacts, see if we see anything. There's a lot of seashells and stuff embedded in the rocks. I noticed on the way back, there goes Dylan, and you can see how easy the silt gets kicked up here. But Dylan goes over to a big boulder here, and I'm guessing he saw some, you know, some fossils or something, because he was pretty intense on looking at this for a minute. Corey is still reeling the line up. We're headed back out. Kind of hard to see him. Yeah, he's down there looking on that boulder there. I forgot to ask him what he saw. You'll have to tell me, Dylan. Corey may be telling him we're heading up. So here we go. Now we're going to head back up. If you look at Dylan, not Dylan, I'm sorry. If you look at Corey, you can kind of get maybe a perspective of how steep it is. It's pretty much, it's close to vertical. Look at how, you know, the last 2 times I've been there, it's just been so crystal clear. So this was a good training day, I'll say that. Okay. Looks like Corey's checking on us. Oh no, he's getting it off that. Remember, that was that first tie off he had. So from there, he'll go straight up to the where he attached the jump line on the gold line. Looks like Dylan's still looking to see if he sees any fossils or anything. Yeah. There we go. You can see the top of the hole up there. Once we get to that lip, that's 55 foot. If you remember, like on when we were at Buford the other day, if you were looking up at that blue, you know, you could see people if they were up there. And it was just so hazy that, you know, you could tell that was the top, but it's just so hazy. After we get up here, we'll be going up to the air chamber again. And you guys have seen that before. But I thought I would throw that in there again. That's kind of like one of the key features of the Blue Grotto. That might be it right there. Yeah, it is. Dylan's up there, so we're going up to join him.
Definitely brighter in here, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I thought the Viz was better. What did you guys think?
Yeah, well, I think it was.
Okay, I thought it was.
It must have been one of those people behind us or in front of us that were down.
Yeah, they must have really kicked it. Because it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And then different levels were.
One thing I did notice,
So they obviously did.
the air didn't smell right here.
There right now where the students are, man.
So
What's that?
we talked for a couple minutes, and then I said I didn't like the smell of the air, so we went ahead and got out of there.
Hey, did you see how I was kicking though?
Yeah, I was watching, yeah. I practiced and then I sucked and then I kind of quit.
You're doing alright. You're imagine if you do it. Oh, it's warm in here.
Yeah. The air stinks though.
Yeah, it smells
Can you smell it?
Yeah.
I'm just floating.
Huh? You just
I said bobbing. No, I'm just bobbing.
I just made the comment about the air smelling bad. Everybody decides to leave now.
Things like cross.
Okay, so here we're wrapping up the dive, and this is when I come over, see behind his head above his rig, you can see the water streaming up. That's when I realized that he had a leak on a hose. And I almost think under pressure down deep that it may not have leaked. Here I'm looking at his pressure on his watch, but I didn't know how to read it. It was different. So I couldn't relate to him what I saw was wrong. So I go and get Corey, and then Corey gets a hold of him, and they figure it out. He's telling me I got water in my goggles. That's a constant struggle with me, keeping the water out of my goggles. I may have to go to a different goggle, but I'm hesitant because that's how I get these videos. The goggle I wear holds my GoPro. See, look at that. He's got a leak. It's a low pressure hose is what's leaking. So he ends up going up, and I think he said that he had that leak on the previous dive or previously, but he thought he had fixed it. I think he said the hose was loose and he had tightened it. So after we finished today, we ended up changing out the O-ring, and hopefully that fixed his problem. Find out on the next dive. Or maybe he can put it underwater somewhere and check it out. So, but that's why you dive with a buddy.
Better. It just died. And it almost seemed like it got better with the sun
so
shining.
now we
in,
finished
too.
2 dives.
Yeah, maybe.
And
but I do think
this is where my waterproof case fogs up on me. I wouldn't show the video, but
The second time?
I have to buy a new waterproof case because obviously it's not waterproof.
Like a half
I
moon
think-
down there.
And
You
but
mean
I
the
wanted to
cage?
show you
Yeah.
what it's like walking out here up to where we were. There was hardly
never knew that
anybody
that's what
there
they did.
today, which was kind of the bummer was the water should have been just, I mean, immaculate, pristine, but somebody has kicked it up, and you know, when you have a low flow spring, takes a long time for it to clear.
Yeah, I was trying to tell.
Still
Dylan
had a
his
great
line
time.
was leaking,
Great
but he
time,
wasn't
good
getting
friends, good diving.
it. Yeah.
I think it actually clears up
Is
a little
there?
bit when we get up the
okay,
ramp
I didn't
here.
know what it was. I didn't know if he could read it on his thing. I was trying to look at his gauge, but I didn't know how to read it. His gauge.
Gorgeous setup, but it's one of the more expensive, you know, it's kind of like a dive resort, really. It's one of them, I think it's the most expensive dive spring that I go to.
Oh man.
They have hot showers, nice bathrooms, you can camp there, you can lodge there. They have training, they have it all. And when we come up here, you can see that's the group area, and we had it all to ourselves, 3 guys, and there's a bunch of smaller ones, and there may have been one other one in use. There were
Is
some
it an
police there
O-ring?
for a while. That's who you
I
saw
have
when we first
O-rings.
got in the water. They were doing some training,
It was loose.
but
Oh,
great
wow.
day. I guess it didn't clear up very good. I have a new one coming, so hopefully that gets better.
I think I would have saw it if it was leaking earlier. Because I saw it as soon as, when I looked, I noticed it.